What's good, and welcome to ColonelCast, a new weekly sports show here put on by Center Athletics to run down all the goings-on in Center sports. I'm Nick Nunnelly.
And I'm David Heald, and we're going to dive right in with swimming and diving. The freshman Sarah Hayhurst traveled this weekend to San Antonio, Texas for the NCAA Regional Diving Meet. I would rather be in Texas right now. It is warm there and cold here. She placed third in the 3-meter event and won first place in the 1-meter event to qualify for the NCAA Championship meet.
Which is impressive, noting that she is also a freshman competing in all those events.
Glad to have her around for a couple more years.
Absolutely. Speaking of winning things, Center men's lacrosse defeated Hanover College by a score of 16-7 for their first win of the season this past Saturday. Joe Linsovitz had 6 goals and 2 assists to make him the SAA Offensive Player of the Week. The last Center player to do that was Zach Connors in the 2013 NCAA tournament.
Let's see what Linsovitz had to say about his game the other day.
I think it was good to get your first win. I think it was just a great team effort. Everyone really came out to play. We came out a little slow, but then everyone got going. Wes had the first good goal, and we got the team going. And then our clears were better. We won the ground balls.
You know, you had what, 5, 6
goals
today.
A couple assists.
What's can you talk a little bit about that?
Really, most of the time I was just sitting back door, and I really didn't do much. But it was really, like I said, all around just the team effort.
Along with Joe Linsovitz, Matt Hughes had 4 goals, Sam Rush netted 3, and Brian Portwood won 16 faceoffs with 11 ground balls. Bryce McCoy, also in the pipes, had 5 saves of his own.
Very impressive. Joe Linsovitz was also named SAA Offensive Player of the Week, the second in 1 week for the Colonels, but we'll get to that in just a minute. The women's lacrosse team on Friday lost 21-2 to a D2 powerhouse in the Big Red Machine, Denison.
Yeah.
But on Sunday, they had a nice little bounce back, and they came back and won and beat Millsaps 18-9 on Sunday behind the efforts of Jackie Lax, who had 7 goals and an assist.
It was impressive.
That's how it's done right there. Hayden Gibbons, Ellen Rissinger, Andrea Wamball, and Audrey Powers all scored multiple goals, and the senior goalie, Allison Eisner, had 6 saves in goal.
Yeah, and Jacqueline Anderson was that second Center lacrosse player that we hinted towards who won Offensive Player Honors of the Week.
Very good signs.
Yeah, speaking of SAA actions, the men's basketball team traveled to Rhodes to compete in this year's conference tournament. Barry, there was their first opponent whom they defeated 90-74, an impressive offensive showing there by the Colonels in the first round Friday night. The seniors Josh Karsner and Michael Geegan both had strong games. Karsner with 24 points of his own, Geegan with 17.
They're going to be missed next year, let me tell you.
Absolutely. Sam Gruber, the sophomore, had 11 off the bench, and it was Blake Center, the junior, with 16.
After that, the Colonels went on to the semifinals and suffered a little bit of a shocking loss.
Yeah.
They fell 55-53 to the number 6 seed Hendricks. However, Matt Gump had a nice little game with 17 points, along with Blake Center, who had 13 points and 10 boards.
This is a good game. I mean, it's impressive to think that Hendricks went on to win the SAA tournament, beating the 1, 2, and 3 seeds. And when you think about the recent history, the Colonels have beaten Hendricks 23 out of the last 24 times they've played.
A true underdog story right there.
Absolutely. And this will be the first time this past year where the Colonels did not appear in a conference tournament game in the last 10 years.
And that really speaks volumes about what Coach Greg Mason has built here. He's built a powerhouse of D3 basketball here at Center College, and that's shown that they have been in the SAA championship for years.
Absolutely.
The All-SAA team was released on Saturday. Josh Karsner and Blake Center were named with first team's honors, while Tyler Wesley and Matt Gump were named honorable mention. Also of note, Tyler Wesley won his 2nd Defensive Player of the Year row. That's 2. You can count them.
Yeah, as well, this past weekend with Center Hoops, women's basketball traveled to compete in the SAA tournament as well to finish their season at a 10-15 mark, losing 68-55 in a game to Rhodes, whom also went on to win the SAA tournament.
Yeah, watch out for Rhodes, man.
Absolutely. Maggie Hartledge led the team with 14 points, and Olivia Colliver and Alexis Guy each had 10. It was Alexis Guy who had an honorable mention for the SAA team, where Maggie Hartledge made the 2nd team All-SAA as a senior. Congratulations to her.
Definitely. She'll be missed next year as a senior. I hope she has a great graduation. I hope she comes back to see some games next year.
Absolutely.
Go Colonels. Men's golf finished 7th of 19th at Callaway Gardens Invite in Callaway Gardens, Georgia. 9 of the 18 teams who played in this tournament were in the golf stat top 25.
Yeah.
And the Colonels came in 7th.
That's impressive to think about there. The Colonels always have a strong showing in golf, and they definitely didn't disappoint this past weekend. The tournament low scorer for the Colonels was Andrew McKinney, the freshman, who got 12th place. The next tournament will be played 2 weekends from this past weekend, and the Colonels, I'm looking forward to get back on the course.
Definitely. In men's track, they traveled down to Anderson, Indiana for the Fred Wilt Invitational and placed 6th out of 18 teams. Vidkar Paddocky won the 5K with a 15-minute, 15-second run.
So fast.
Nearly set a school record there. In terms of school records, though, one was set in the 4x400 relay with a 3 minutes, 29.74 seconds.
Unbelievable.
A team consisting of Daniel Graham, Matt McCurdy, Colin Worcester, and Tristan Morrow led that and set the record. It is the first sub 3-minute, 30-second indoor run for the Colonels.
Wow. And there's a near school record set by Isaac Toney in the pole vault and Ryan Arvey in the weight throw. Now, women's track also had a meet this week, and they finished 3rd out of 17 with a partial team as well. Event wins can go out to Ashley Elradi, who won the mile run in 5 minutes and 21 seconds.
Quite a clip.
I wish I knew how it felt to run that quickly. And she set a new indoor school record, while Brandy Orth also won the long jump with a 5-meter jump. Another school record was set by a Colonel, with Serena Gale Buteau getting a 10:53 3K run. However, to show the type of competition the Colonels were up against, that only got her a 3rd place mark in the race.
And the men's baseball team went down to Rhodes to open their season up, and they actually got to watch a little bit of SAA basketball and got to cheer on our Colonels team, so that's great. They did lose their first 2 games on Saturday at 2-0 and 3-2. Rod Caldwell shined, though, and allowed just 1 earned run and struck out 9 7 1/3 innings in Game 1, while Trevor Brewer held Rhodes to 3 runs over 6 innings in Game 2.
Yeah, and the thing is, against the top 25 team there in baseball, those are 2 really close games that could have gone either way. Just a little struggle at the plate, but there's a lot of season to get.
The Colonels' arms are going to be something to watch this year. Our pitching is excellent, always has been, so stay tuned for that. It'll be a lot of close games this year.
Yeah, and speaking of center baseball, Grayson Evans also hit a 370-foot home run to
Whammy.
deep left center. Whammy, so that's what we're saying now. Deep left center field in an 8-2 loss on Sunday to that same Rhodes team. Tough weekend, but the thing is, there's a lot to grow on from that performance.
Also showed a lot of promise. You got to remember that they're number 25 in all of NCAA Division III baseball, so not a small achievement there.
I hear a few schools playing that.
Only a couple.
Yeah, it was our men's and women's tennis teams both traveled this weekend as well to Charleston's West Virginia. I apologize, not South Carolina. The women lost at an 8-1 clip, and the men lost 9-0. Elisa Williams was Center's only individual winner there in the women's #1 singles match, so congratulations to her.
Definitely. Men's lacrosse has a couple games coming up. At home on Tuesday at 4 o'clock, they'll be taking on Augustana. And then they're going to head down to Carthage at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, women's lacrosse is also going to have a game this weekend. These 2 games, actually, one's going to be at Ohio Wesleyan and another in Kenyon. The 2:30 game on Saturday is going to be at Ohio Wesleyan, and Kenyon's going to be 1 p.m. on Sunday. Taking a little tour of Ohio there.
Neighbors to the north. Men's baseball is going to host Maryville on Wednesday at 5:30. Should be a good game. Then after that, going to have Adrian at 6. Then Birmingham Southern, another excellent team. In men's baseball, you really can't get away from these excellent teams. And they're coming down for 3 games, 2 on Saturday at 1 and 1 on Sunday at 1.
Yeah, and ultimately the SAA is an incredibly good conference. Keep posted, though, on centerathletics.com. We're not sure how the field's going to be faring after the heavy snowfall we had. It's
got about a foot of snow just still sitting on the field, so we'll see what happens.
Hopefully we do get those games in, however. Softball is also going to be at home this weekend with a doubleheader on Defiance at 5 p.m. against Defiance, not on Defiance, against Defiance at 5 p.m. on Friday. They'll also play home against Spalding and Manchester over the weekend in the Center Classic.
And both track teams are going to the Last Chance NCAA Indoor Qualifier at Ohio Northern on Saturday. And it's still going to be the last chance for the individuals to qualify in their certain events if they haven't already. So make sure you cheer them on and give them a little extra good luck charm.
And last but certainly not least, tennis is going to travel to Johnson at noon on Saturday to try to pick up their first win of the year. That does it for us here at ColonelCast. It's been fun bringing it to you guys. Stay tuned for next week, and as always, go out and support the Colonels. I'm Nick Nunnelly.
I'm David Heald. Go Colonels, and see you on Tuesday.
Peace.